Shabbat Shalom. Kohalo Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and other bishops of GMS, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, the Aquath that listen and learn and being a pillar of rest, the 144,001 third, the hopeful elect of Israel. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. I am the brother / elder. This is the WW3 Daily Update, and we're going to start right here. Joel 20, slot 2 and 20 in the NLT. I will drive away these armies from the north, North America. I will send them armies like the Marines, the Air Force. They're armies. The Army is an army. The Marines is an army of men. I will send them into the parched wastelands. Those in the front will be driven into the Dead Sea. This is in the Middle East. And those at the rear into the Mediterranean. The stench of their rotting bodies will rise over the land. Surely the Lord has done great things. So basically, the Northern Army, see the Northern Army right here? North America, those 700 Marines that went down to LA, they're going to the Middle East. They'll be in LA for a minute, but right after Bibi Netanyahu launches this first strike, those Marines are headed to the Valley of Yahweh Shabbat. CBN News 1 hour ago, Trump sent 700 Marines to LA amid immigration riots, so they say. These immigration riots are really a camouflage for what's really going on, which is the arrest of these pedophiles out there. That's what's really going on under your nose. Okay? Go look at Minneapolis. If you want to find out what's really going on, go look at what happened in Minneapolis the other day. They called it a riot. It wasn't a riot. The police were conducting a raid, picking up pedophiles. And they were hiding it under the guise of some sort of immigration or whatever. Check that out.
President Trump is sending 700 Marines to Los Angeles amid the protests against immigration and customs enforcement. He's also doubling the number of National Guard troops already on the ground. The role of the Marines is to...
Let's stop right there. So you got the American Army all up on the Americans. Why? Because they know we're going to World War III. So what they want to do is they want to start by threatening the American people with their own troops. And then when they have to leave, then they're going to replace their own troops with the UN or whoever they have to keep this place on lock. Is this part of World War III? You bet it is. Okay. Ask the Japanese what happened during World War II.
Protect federal buildings.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
LA's police chief says most of the protests in the city have been peaceful.
Latinos for Trump.
Protesters have set fire to cars, blocked highways, and several police officers have been injured in clashes. One ABC reporter in LA said law enforcement shouldn't interfere with a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn.
It could turn very volatile if you move law enforcement in there the wrong way and turn what is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into a massive confrontation and altercation between officers and demonstrators.
LA Mayor Karen Bass claims the federal government's response is contributing to the chaos.
It makes me feel like our city is actually a test case for what happens when the federal government moves in and takes the authority away from the state or away from local government.
Now, demonstrations against ICE are spreading to other major cities nationwide, including Atlanta.
Making sure they show these Negroes. They got to make sure they show these idiots out here to make them part of the fight.
Chicago and New York. California Governor Gavin Newsom says Trump's deployment of the National Guard over his objections violates state sovereignty. The president and Newsom now in a war of words.
In a what? In a war. All of this is a war on many different levels. Has the shooting started yet? Well, rubber bullets, right? Tear gas, though. Flashbangs. That sounds like war, right? Even the little fireworks, right?
In a war of words after Trump expressed support for arresting him.
What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed?
Yeah, to warrant his arrest, as you
I think his
suggested earlier.
primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job.
Newsom challenging Trump on a podcast.
I told the president, just get it over with. Arrest me. Move on.
The conflict hasn't hurt Trump's approval record on immigration.
Yeah, if we just take a look at the baseline numbers here, this is Trump's net approval rating on immigration. It's gone up like a rocket.
California has sued the Trump administration to block the deployment of National Guard troops and Marines, an issue that will likely end up at the Supreme Court. Wendy Griffith, CBN.
Here it is. There's the update. The war is alive and well right here in Babylon the Great. Okay. You want to see the outcome of the war in Babylon? Who wins? I'll tell you who loses. Babylon. Down goes Frazier. Is fallen. Down goes her is fallen. What happened to Great Babylon? What happened to Great Babylon? Revelation 14:8. A second angel followed and said, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink of the maddening wine of her adulteries. All right, so what was I going to say? What do we see? That's the Civil War, yeah? A Trump against new scum, right? If Satan is divided. Luke 11:18. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? How? Oh, Salakia, because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. So is Satan against Satan? You bet he is. Yep, there's one Satan. Look at the red guy. That's Satan. That's Satan. They're against each other. How can his kingdom stand? With that, we hope that the elect were edified. Brothers and few sisters, Shabbat Shalom.